What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode in our series on Sunless Sea. Today we're going to be embroiled in a war between rats and cavies. I tend to side with the rats just because they're sort of like the independence faction, I guess, whereas the cavies talk about how they're going to rip everybody to shreds and how they're imperialistic and they conquered the island and all that. I tend to go with the rats just because I feel bad for them. They got less numbers and it seems like the cavies are set up for war. They kind of seem like dicks. I don't know. It's a weird game when guinea pigs are made out to be dicks. That would be the part that I would kind of stress right here, but let's go to the beach. What kind of fish might they catch here? And whoever heard of a rat mending nets? An albino rat smiles quietly up at you from his mending work, dainty and a little shy. Chickenwood floats, especially when it's dried out and sealed, so we're able to paddle out a bit and cast our nets. We come up with all sorts of things: blind fish, crabs, sometimes a chunk of broken tentacle, and the fishing would never be so good without the rat star. He beams in kind. I think it only draws good fish and keeps the scary ones at bay. I know the chief science officer doesn't believe it, but I do. That light is our livelihood. Okay, and we've got an excitable looking rat who's peering through smoky goggles, switching her whiskers and making notes on what appears to be real paper. It's not a star, of course. Not really, but try explaining that to the others. The chief engineer doesn't want me working too hard to convince them and says this is better for morale, but just look at it. Look! She offers you her goggles. You manage to work them over just enough of one of your eyes to see the truth of what's in the bowl. It's scintillac, but unlike you've ever seen before. Blue as a sapphire, but more brilliant. Something about the clarity of its color is tremendously soothing. The chief science officer titters with pleasure as you hand her goggles back. Those of us who have been to the Kavi side of the island and lived to tell of it say that there's plenty of glow there, plenty of bright in the water all around, but nothing like this. We took this from the island's center, Mount Ararat. Only it's not a mountain, of course, any more than this is a star. It's a hollow. There's a sweet water inside and coral crawling up the walls of it, but nothing that glows save this. It's ours now, and nobody can take it from us. Okay, so let's wait for the War Council so that we can help out here. Alright, the chief engineer leads you to the northern side of the island, skirting the chicken woods. You pass through a number of what can only be termed checkpoints as fierce-eyed rats shoulder their derringers and salute the chief engineer. Soon you come upon a small colony, smaller than some of the infestations you've encountered in the London flats, or perhaps 50 Ratus Faber altogether. That's not what I wanted. You've done all the exploring you want. Time to take action. I was going to say, we've read this already. This is seeming vaguely familiar to me. Alright, and so we've got a vital enterprise. The chief engineer emerges from the underground with a motley assortment of other rats. He introduces them as weapons experts, strategists, and field commanders. So you're going to help us beat the cavies, he says, a hard edge to his voice, but how exactly? We can offer guns, so we can give them 2 supplies out of our 15, and that'll get it done very, very quickly. We can offer to attack the cavies ourselves, but with our irons at 53, that still only gives us a 42% chance. It's a little bit risky, but it doesn't cost us anything. I kind of feel like he's threatening me right now with that wrench. Then again, given the size of your average Ratus Faber, that wrench is probably only the size of like my big toe or something, so maybe it's not quite so threatening. Either way, maybe he's got good upper body strength, like, bah! Just take you out at the shin. That would suck. Let's go ahead and attack with the ship. A palpable hit. The rats give you what information they possess about the Kavi settlement, but you must make up a great deal on the spot. A perfect storm of speed, stealth, and strength and arms favors you. Your cannons let fly a volley of shot onto the beach before the Kavis can scramble onto their own grounded ship to man its guns. Screams and squeals fill the air. Your enemy flees before you. A damp hush settles over your crew as the smoke clears to reveal torn, bloody bodies of guinea pigs littering the shore. A grim business, but you've honored your commitment to the rats and found a wealth of scintillac ringing the beach to harvest as spoils. So did I ring the beach? Or... oh, ringing the beach as in like a ring around your finger. Gotcha. A ring around your finger. I had to read that like 2 or 3 times. It was a weird verb to use right there. I was like, ringing the beach. Oh, that's right. The island is circular. Okay, it makes more sense now. We got 3 scintillac for that. We got a bale of parabola linen. Alright. With the 3 scintillac, if we could get a little bit more by harvesting the walls at Port Cecil, we could get the 7 that the venture capitalist wants, but I don't know. Alright. And you've given the Ratus Faber all the assistance you can. What next? And so we can invite a Ratus Faber on board with us. I think it's a mascot. We can steal the Rat Star for 86% chance. Perhaps you deserve it as much as... or perhaps you think you deserve it as your due. Perhaps it's what you wanted all along. In either case, it should be an easy enough matter to snatch it from under the rats' noses while they're busy hurting their prisoners. Yeah, do that one. Okay, and so perhaps it's because what you were doing is it's so inconceivable the rats are slow to react. The chief science officer is the only one attending to the rat star when you approach. A nod to your sailors and they seize him, muffling a shout of protest while you throw some heavy blankets over the star's bowl. The rats scurry and wail in the dimness, but their vision sufficiently impaired that their shouts and shots of protest are ineffective. You sail off with the star. The chief science officer will make an entertaining addition to some circus, no doubt. And so we got a live specimen. I forget what you do with that. I think there's like a gun you get later on that fires sea monsters or something like that at your enemy. I know there's a gun that fires monster hunters, but I also think there's one that uses live specimens as ammo too, and I can't remember. I think it's good for killing ships, and then the other one is good for killing monsters. An occurrence, your memoir as a rat in the making quality is now 8. Cool. And so we finished that one off just the way I would have liked to. Sorry, I gotta rearrange the desk right now. The kitten's climbing up the side of the desk. Seriously, this animal is going to be the death of me. I have giant, just like stress-laden holes in the side of my heart because of this animal. I had no idea this creature was gonna be such a pain. I love him. I love him very, very dearly, but this little guy, like, it's all day, every day. Like, last night, he was up till 6 in the morning just running in circles around the house, not even doing anything. Like, he knocked over the trash can. He was just like, "Blah! I'm so excited and awake right now." Turn on the lights, and his eyes are all dilated. He looks all wild out in the darkness. I'm like, God, it's like where the wild things are out here, but with kitties. Let's take the red as favor. Why not? The chief engineer can't leave his colony, but he relays your group. What? Why would they give me the albino tinkerer? And I thought you couldn't have the tinkerer if you had the cat. Huh. I'm good at I don't think that would work given the fact that I just stole their entire nationalistic treasure. But you know what? I'm not going to question it. Off we go. A report from Pigmoat Isle. As I recall, they don't remember it. If we go... Does anything happen right there? Oh, you can't click it. That's disappointing. I didn't realize how much money we had before we came back. Sorry, it's Monday and I'm resuming my work for the week, like setting up all my YouTube videos and whatnot. And so I'm sort of just like remembering where I was already. Let's go ahead and leave port. Let me take a look at the chart and we'll see where we're at. Pigmoat Isle is right here. The crab cake is right there. I don't recall exactly what our plan was. I think it was to head to the Chapel of Lights because we had somebody that needed to go out there. And so we'll go up to Frostfound first. We'll get the port report, and then from Frostfound, we'll head off to the east. We'll go to the Chapel of Lights because I believe the sigil-ridden navigator wanted to go there, and it'll probably trigger the next part of his quest so that we can see what sort of loot is going to be awaiting us. I'd also like to find the place that the Shady Cook goes. It's always on this lower line down here. It's always down here somewhere. It's somewhere with the Fathom King's Hold and the Uttershroom. There's another one over here that's like a prison, and if you take him there, it works out pretty well. It's called the Sea of Lilies or something like that. But I've done his quest before. I distinctly remember doing that when I streamed the release version of the game a day or two after it came out. I've done most of the Tireless Mechanics quest as well, and you end up with a really, really badass engine. But let me turn off my lights real fast. I think we're using... Oh, we got a big crab over there. I'm going to try and keep the lights out for right now. We're going to cut north a little ways. It looks like our heading is fairly solid, but I don't want him to see me. Yep, nice and easy around the edge there. No need to get crabs right now. Is there ever a need to get crabs? I suppose for a crab there's a great need to get crabs, or for him to give crabs. Just because it's part of his, like, symbiotic survival. I don't think that's symbiotic, though. I don't see how that helps me at all. I'd be like, all I got out of this is itchy. And I'm like, itchy's a thing. It's a gift. I mean, hey, it's a change. I mean, what if you're just tired of neutral? Maybe neutral is something that you just want to get away from, and itchy is way better. I'd be like, no, itchy is not way better, no matter how I hate being itchy. I am constantly itchy just because I enjoy tattooing, and so I've always got some tattoo healing on me right now, and so I'm constantly itchy, and I dislike it very, very much. Let's see here. Towers and ramps and galleys. Let's go, and we'll get our port report. Now that we've got that, I would suggest that we take tea with the squatters at the dock. And so we lost 10 terror, we gained a fuel, and we gained a supply. That's going to be the same, I think, every single time. I believe. Let me look here. Yeah, we've already done this right here, so there's no need to read it all over. But every time I come here, I try to do that because it saves you a whole bunch of terror. If you can actually make this part of your ring of influence, so you hit Hunter's Keep, you hit right here, you should be able to keep your terror down really, really low, which is a thankful thing. Because in my opinion, when the game first came out, it was incredibly difficult, like seriously ridiculously difficult to get your terror down, and then it seems like they added a whole lot more mechanisms to get it done. Now, why did we want that blue scintillac? The blue scintillac allows us to recharge all of our guns instantly. So assume that we have 3 guns right here. We could go bam, 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 click it, and then go bam, bam, bam again, which means that you could fire 6 shots on a good ship, especially if we get ourselves the Corvette a little bit later. You could fire 6 shots just instantaneously, and that's enough to lay low just about everything in the game. It's a little bit risky, but it is something that will make you a tad more resilient when it comes to fighting, and so I'd highly recommend it. If we go out to the Chapel of Lights right now, I'd like to swing a little bit low. Swing low, little steamer ship, trying to find ourselves an island. The salt lions, oh, those are off to the south? Well, maybe we should do those then. The salt lions are important, although they're a little ways out right now. I think the salt lions are unfortunately too far out to be useful right now. If you don't know what the salt lions are, essentially they're like these big statues made out of salt and like basalt and out of stone or whatever, and you can harvest from them, take it back to London and make a bunch of money, and that's repeatable. You can do it over and over and over again, so it's a really, really good venture, say. In my last game, the salt lions were right here. They were very, very close to London. You could make this run in under like 3 minutes, and you could just run back and forth non-stop, just making a ton of money. I think they may have nerfed it, though, too. It's been a couple months since I played the game last, and as I understand it, a lot of people were complaining about the fact that you could farm out like tens of thousands of echoes just sitting here with a movie on, doing that over and over again, so I don't know if it's been changed at all, but we should go to the Salt Lions nonetheless, just to get ourselves the port report and to unlock it on our map. Because as you can tell, our pages are actually going to be a little bit more difficult to get as we go further and further on into the game. And so in order to get those secrets all nice and stacked up, I'd prefer to get this done now. Secrets aren't too big of a deal, though, because there are monsters you can kill in the game that give you a secret every single time that you kill them. And so some people will farm those out so that they can have like a gajillion of every stat except for whatever their weakest one is. I'm a little bit surprised that we've lived this long. Alright, so in here we can watch the Unmakers. We can carry Sphinx Stone to London. We get 200 echoes for that. We'll get a port report first. The two basalt beasts, cathedral-sized, they frown eternally at each other across the black waves. The north one carries an encampment. Creeping human figures eat away at its features like rot. Picking. It's a supply dock below. Alright, record the activities of the Unmakers such as they are. Rite of stone and silence. And now we'll visit the Unmakers, I think. Muscular pick wielders rest on camp stools watching you approach, passing hip flasks around. An unctuous overseer beckons you to sit. We get funding from the bazaar, it's true, but Station 4, I wouldn't call us Station 4, it's a little grandiose. The stones are stuffed with secrets, but most of them are used as garden statuary or occult ballast. Most of them. Some go to the places under the bazaar. More tea cakes? Okay, so we lost some terror right there, and we got a couple of fragments. That'll be nice. I think you need 20 units of cargo right there, though. Yeah, you got to pay the deposit. So you pay 200 echoes. You drive that back over to Fallen London. You'll get like 300 echoes back, but it takes 20 cargo space. So you will need a larger ship in order to make that work. Let's bounce on out. I just wanted the port report anyways. And then once we're out of here, I would suggest that we continue to throw around a bat a little bit. Doesn't seem to be too kind to the bat, but I'm not going to worry about his safety for right now, just because there are worse things out here to be concerned about. Leave the lights off for right now. Our lack of terror is actually... Oh, the Sea of Lilies is up here. Really? How unlikely. I've never seen that happen before. I don't know if that's just like a set piece. Oh. Okay, so I guess we found the Sea of Lilies. That's a little bit weird. I wasn't expecting that, but what we need to do right now then is we're going to speak to him. And how many secrets do I have? I need to trade in as many secrets as we have 12 secrets right now. I'm going to take our hearts up to 35 right now, I think. Just to make sure that we've got the skills to pay the bills here. Alright, just a couple more of these. If you don't remember, hearts is essentially courage and health. So if you're doing anything to heal someone, if you're doing something to maintain your courage in the face of terror, it's going to be a hearts check, and so hearts is actually really, really important. A lot of people don't put enough points into heart, and so we got 35 hearts right now. That's pretty good. It's about 10 above the default that you start out with. 50 tends to be the safe point for any stat, but we don't have enough to get there, and I'd like to save a number of our secrets for other things. We could also play around with mirrors, but he's about to leave. If you're wondering why I'm spamming stats right now, it's because he's about to leave, so I'd prefer to get that all done before he goes. We ask him about that. He wants to go to the Sea of Lilies. I've never seen the Sea of Lilies be up here. The last time I played the game, Sea of Lilies was way down here, and so maybe Sea of Lilies is one of the locations that actually has a large amount of variability with regards to its location. We're clearing out that chart pretty well. I've actually never seen anything in the south, so I'm excited about that. And then I've never seen anything in the far east either. Godfall is way too far away for it to be useful to us right now. Khan's Glory's down there. I'll probably hit Khan's Shadow on the way back. I don't know. We got stuff to do. It's all going to be okay. Let's pull into port over here at the prison. I think there's Wisdom and like Temperance and something else over here. I don't remember exactly what Nutmit Harbor does, but I know it gets rid of this guy and we get a whole bunch of good things for it, so. Nutmit Harbor. Or Nup. I thought it was Nut for some reason. I don't know. Maybe that's Freudian, but still. We'll go on this side. The prison walls are mercilessly steep. Let the shady cook go ashore. Warco Prevens, he says dangerously. Let me is there toe. Okay, well, let's get a port report first. And so ships from the Canaan are most common, but you see Chelenite vessels, polythreme triremes with chained and sulky unfinished men, corsairs disposing of their miscreants, even one furtive Iremi skiff. The wardens pay them well for their prisoners. And so what is this place? Nutmit built this place as a prison for the Canaan. Now it answers only to its governor, and its governor answers to nobody. Oh, so it's like a freelance prison. You just take people there and turn them in? Okay, and so you can rescue people. Oh, that's badass. We can ransom a prisoner, too. Huh, alright. Exchange a secret for a prisoner. 175 pages in a searing enigma. We can hand over a prisoner. Oh no, we'll pay you. Cool. Okay, well let's let him go ashore. Oh yes, the unctuous fellow assures you, we value enthusiasm over formal qualifications. The Knot Oracles are always hungry, but they're also delicate in their tastes. Their meals must be prepared assiduously. I understand this fellow is indentured to you? Well, we have collected tremendous stores of knowledge from the oracles. Tremendous. Let me give you some of my notes, and we will of course replenish your stores. Thank you so much. I'm so badass that I've got a store on my boat. It's just so people could buy little things, you know, lip balm, Butterfinger bars, whatever the newest DVD is that's out. I like to keep my people happy. It's how I ride. It's how I do my thing. We have to get rid of, we're at 5 over. Let's see here. We lost Shady Cook. Let's go through everything. So we gained a secret. We got a strategic information. We got moves in the great game. We got visions of the surface. We got supplies. We got a lot of stuff right here. This was a really, really good gamble for us. And this is what I meant when I was talking about the fact that when you complete quests, good things happen in this game. So I recommend that you do it. I'm going to throw those overboard, I guess. And then we'll take everything else along with us. I'm going to keep the fuel because we tend to burn that off quickly anyways. And I like to keep my lamp on now that we're starting to get towards 50 terror. I don't think there's anything else to be accomplished here. We don't have any other turn-ins, so we might as well just head on out. We only got 7 sailors anyway, so risking death or any sort of dismemberment is not something that I feel enthused about. I don't feel too messing at the prospects. Let me turn this on here, and where do we want to go? We want to go up to the Chapel of Lights for the next quest, which is going to be for our sigil-ridden navigator. Hopefully we can get ourselves a new cook, and actually I think we can. We just got to go talk to the Poissonnier up in, not in Wither, but in Venderblight, I think. If we go talk to him, he'll join our crew. What's this over here? Just more lily pads. We don't get anything for these. I was hoping we might, but oh well. Oh no, we got some Peterson's Rift. Where is that at? Does that show up if I zoom in? It does. Okay, well, straight north to the Chapel of Lights. Let's handle that first. Off we go. Full steam to engines. If that's such a thing. I don't know if that's... Did they say that back in the olden days? Like, full steam to engines. That seems like something that somebody from my time would say about their time, not knowing full well what the sayings or the slang were back then. Seems probable. I think the Chapel of Lights, we still got a few more lily pads up and in here. I don't know why I'm wiggling right now. I get bored over long voyages, so I'm just like, waggle, waggle, waggle. It makes me happy when I let my ship waggle for a little while. You should waggle every now and again. I bet it'll make you feel better. Waggling is pretty awesome. If you're feeling low in the dumps, first and foremost, you probably don't want to hang out there because it's kind of smelly and it'll rub off on you. I used to go to the dump all the time when I was a little kid because my dad, he had to dump off. He's a general contractor, and so he'd have just like this giant trailer full of just like refuse from the jobs that he was doing. He had to go out to the dump to get rid of it. They were all from the job sites and whatnot. The Kissingar Vortex. So anyways, we were always out at the dump. You can find all kinds of cool stuff. Sometimes you find really cool things, and other times you would just find like dead rats and dead dogs and stuff. It sort of depended. The adventure was highly dependent on where you decided to search. Sometimes it was gnarly, sometimes it was really, really awesome. If you're a little kid, it was all kind of awesome. Even a dead dog looks kind of cool when you're like 8 years old and you've never seen one before. It was like a desiccated skeleton. It wasn't like a dog that was freshly dead that they had just thrown out there. It was like a half a skeleton. And, kids like morbid stuff. Well, I did when I was a kid anyways. I don't know. Do you hear music? Let's go up in here. We've got Eat of the Chapel's Bounty. I do think we should do that because our hunger is quite high. We can give a nightmare to the well? Huh. Crazy. Alright, well, let's eat of the chapel's bounty. That'll get rid of our 44 hunger. And now that I've gotten rid of our hunger, I think we'll gather intelligence. And then let's go ahead and see what the sigil-ridden navigator has for us. We can attend a challenge if we have a good pages quality. Well, at 25 pages, it must not be that difficult because it takes 5 supplies, though. Okay. This is the place. Hark! The bell. Within, the air is heavy and hushed. You enter to see your navigator shaking a smiling priest by the collar. It led me here. Tell me what it means. Look at it! Look at it! The priest disentangles himself as politely as possible. I'm sure we can find a path to put you on, my friend. He examines the sigil with the professional air of a collector, but we will need your help in return. The priest slips his arm around your shoulders. For you, a lesser payment. Pay the price. Our stores are running low. If we cannot feed our congregation, our mission must end. Can you provide? The fresher the better. The navigator has nothing. He pleads for your help. Well, we have 1 live specimen. We could use 2, though. That's how we get this done properly. Disappointing. I was hoping that we'd be able to breeze through at least the first part, but now we know that I've got to bring specimens back to here, and so I actually have myself a little notepad. I'm going to start keeping track of some of the little things that need to get done here. And so, let me write that down real fast. We needed 2x live specimen at Chapel of Lights. Cool, because I don't think it actually adds that to your journal, especially not like the thing you have to bring with you to get it done. And so I would recommend you play this game with a piece of paper on you just in case. We've got a sea monster thing. We could take a risk and like have a sea monster show up and fight it and see if we could get it done, but we don't really have that good of guns right now or gear. So until we have like a forward gun, a deck gun, and also like an auxiliary gun, anything to help us out with the combat, I think that we should probably avoid it. It won't turn out well for us. And I don't want to die this early in our adventure. That's right, this is early in the adventure. This is super early. I wanted to go in. We have a strategic information right here. I think I need 2 of them. Where did I need to go for the Admiralty? They wanted me to go somewhere. We have an Admiralty commission to go to the Chelinet. Oh, maybe that's why I was trying to go on such a long voyage. I can't recall exactly why we were heading out so far, but I'm pretty sure going to the Chelinet was the part that I was going to do next. Off to the east from here, we have Mount Palmerston. I would suggest that we cut like so, and we just see if there's anything in this big gap down here past the Kissingar Vortex. I doubt that we're going to find anything very useful down here, but still, it gets rid of some of this nasty black fog of war off of our map, and I don't like having a patchy map like this, so honestly, if we had an Apache map, I bet we'd be able to find our way around even better. Apache matches are pretty cool, too. That's a survival technique. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but an Apache match is essentially, it's like this big cone of, like, straw or, like, whatever else dry grasses you can find wrapped in wood, and you can put an ember inside of it, and it creates a coal that just sits there and burns for, like, 2 or 3 days, and you use that coal to start fires everywhere that you go. It's called an Apache match, because I would assume the Apaches designed it, came up with it while they were surviving out there, doing their thing. I don't see anything else over here. We may want to go to Polythreme as well, grab as many port reports as we can to offset the cost of our voyage. We have the Sea of Lilies a long way to the west. Did that not end up on my map? Huh. It must not have unlocked. I'm going to go around the fog bank right here because I don't want to risk what's going to happen. The music's getting a little bit excitable as well. Maybe not excitable. I don't think that's the word that I wanted. Either way, it's getting a bit frenzied, and I don't want it to be frenzied near me. Ooh, kill the lights. We got a pirate right here. Unfinished pirates. As I recall, these gents are fairly capable. What I would need to do right now, so we would have to take them wide. Oh, we got a sea monster. That's all kinds of bad. Okay, so let's go back in over here. Hit the lights. If they get to take a shot at us, so be it. I'm not going to cry about it. Instead, all we want is to be back in behind them right here. And if we can keep ourselves nose into the backside of their ship, we should be alright. There we go, because I don't think they have after. Where did that ship go? There was a ship right there, and it just vanished. Oh, that's weird. That's very, very odd. Oh, I see what he's trying right there. It's crafty, but I'm not going to let it work. There we go. Oh, shit. He got me again. Okay. Let's go ahead and use the Scintillac one more time. That should be enough. And now that they're down, our hull is very, very damaged, so we're going to want to avoid combat from here on in. Let's investigate the hull. We got a cache of that's it, just a cache of curiosities. We got a sack of dark drop coffee beans. I don't think those are worth very much. This particularly tormented bound shark. What an odd name. Huh. Might be worth investigation just because he has a weird name. But my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Sunless Sea. I look forward to seeing you all in future episodes. Hi, do out there, everybody, and I'll see you next time.